Hello everyone, Mr. Orphanus here, and today I'm going to show you how to cartoon a celebrity in Photoshop. So first thing you need to do is get Photoshop up and loaded. So load up Photoshop, get this nice gray screen here, and then we need to find an image. So for cartooning an image, we need to go onto, well, I'm going to use Google Images, and when we look through images, we need to find an image where your character, or whoever you're choosing, in this case Donald Trump, we need to find an image of Donald Trump where he has expressive eyes, so wide open eyes, and expression on the mouth, or just not a flat mouth. If we look at some other images, like up here in the top right corner, the mouth is not as expressive. He's frowning a bit, but it's not as expressive. We want something a little more action-oriented. This image here, up top here, his eyes are very closed. So we don't want that. We want nice open eyes and expressive character in the mouth. Now, we also want the character to look different from their background in terms of contrast, stand out. So this white flag here and his dark hair is good, but I'm a little worried about the top here, and I'll show you how to get around that. An image like here in the top where he has the lighter hair and the lighter background is going to be hard for this project. So we're going to copy our image. We're going to go into Photoshop. We're going to do a new file, image from clipboard, and there's Donald Trump. The one thing I would like to do is I'd like to flatten the image. So I will go layer flatten image. And I'm just going to show you why I'm going to cut him out of the background. So quickly what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have black and white. So click the little black and white here. So it's black and white in the bottom left corner here. And then you go filter, sketch, stamp. And just down here. Once you have that, it's going to be really zoomed in sometimes depending on the size of your image. And if you look at this image right now, I can't see the line of his head to color in his hair. So this is a bit of an issue. So that's why I'm going to cut him out of his background. So I'm going to cancel. I'm going to use the magnetic lasso. And I'm just going to trace around Donald Trump. So as I go around, all right, all the way around Donald Trump, down bottom here. Trying to be as perfect as I can. For time's sake, I'm going to rush through it a bit. But you can take your time cutting out nice and neat. Remember, for the magnetic lasso, you need to go all the way around right to the beginning spot till you see that little circle and click. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out Donald Trump, Control X or Edit Cut. Then I'm going to get myself a new white piece of paper. So blank file from clipboard. I want a white background. Click OK. And I'm going to paste Donald Trump on there. There he is. I'm going to move him just so he's nicely on the bottom there. And then I'm going to now do, and just make sure the right layer is selected. I'm going to flatten that image again to make it one piece of paper. You see on the right hand side there. And then I'm going to go filter, sketch, stamp, zoom out. And what you want to make sure when you have this going is you want to slide the sliders on the right here and make sure you have enough detail so you can see all his features. Something maybe like that. Okay, and the smoothness here, you want, that's not very detailed. That looks kind of like a ghost. So you want the details of the face. I like to kind of see the eyes a bit. It's a nice detail to have. Okay, a little more. There. So what you're going to end up doing, you're going to click OK. And now your job is to color in Donald Trump. So the first thing is we're going to color in his hair. So you get a paintbrush, select black. And I'm going to start to color in hair so it's one solid block of hair. All right, so you kind of color in there, being careful of the lines and edges. All right, get a smaller brush if you need to. I'm going to rush through it a bit just for the time's sake of the tutorial, but you need to take your time figuring out the hairline of your person, coloring it all in. Okay, getting all that going. So let's say I was done his hair. I'd also like to focus on his eyebrows. Getting that colored in, and you can refer back to your original image all the time. Okay, so you can always get that original image. Something I've done in the past also that you can do is you can paste over the old image. See how I have his original color image here, but you can also make it see-through. So now I can see where his hairline is. So I'm using the opacity on the menu here. Go back to the original layer, and then you can see where his eyebrows are when you're painting and all those things. So I can see, oh, there's his eyebrow. It looks brown, but I'm really painting in black. It's just because of the opacity right now. All right, The other job you need to do for painting and everything, so I'm just gonna get rid of this layer here. So you need to paint his eyebrows solid hair. Remember, painting the hair everywhere solid. All right. Once that's all done, so let's say I painted his hair all in. I'll just do it quick here. You also want to get rid of all little spots and specks everywhere. So you want to go around and get the eraser tool, not the magic eraser tool, and you want to get rid of the not so used specks. So there's specks here, you've got little specks down here. You want to clean them up a bit. All right, little specks here. You still want the defining feature lines, but you want to get rid of those specks. So once all that is done, we need to start painting his skin. So to paint skin, I'm going to bring back his original layer. I'm going to bring it back to, let's say, 100%. I'm going to take a sample of his skin color. So I just click here. You'll notice your palette will change color. It's going to make him a little more red there. And then I'm going to get rid of that. And I am going to now do something. And I'm going to add a layer in the bottom right corner, create new layer. I am then going to get a paintbrush. I am then going to ask this layer to multiply. So when you multiply a layer, it puts it behind the other layer. So now I start painting his skin in. You can use a bigger brush if you want, because it is faster. So you start painting, and what you want to be careful of is the eyes. You want to leave the eyes white. Okay, so you leave that all white there. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, you're painting them all in. All right, so one layer would be the skin. So I would do his skin one layer. Let's make him little skin goggles here. So let's say I painted them all in. I would also do his tongue. So another layer could be his tongue. So I get every new color layer. So I get his tongue color. I would then go back to my original image, add another layer, multiply this layer, and I paint his tongue in. So every color, the skin color is one color. There's his tongue. Okay. All right, so you do skin, tongue. I'd also do his tie. His tie is a different color. That's another layer. And then I'm going to show you what it's going to look like in the end. So I just have one saved here. Just go to my files. And I have one saved that has all the pieces you need to do. And I'll show you it right now. Where's Trump Cartoon? There we go. And this is what the final project's going to look like. For my students here, what you're going to do is you're going to paint everything. So I'll show you the layers. So one's a skin layer. There's a skin layer. Okay, I did a layer for the background, so I painted everything in green. I also did a layer just for his tongue and his ties. Those are all different layers of multiplying the color. And there's his original. And then what I did on the end is I typed in a word that I thought is provocative and would question the character of the celebrity. You can do a positive or a critical word, whatever you want. There is criticism about Donald Trump not paying his taxes, so I thought, hey, let's talk about the criminal aspect of not paying your taxes. Okay? Everything white in this image does not need to be painted. Now, how I did the background on this image was I simply made a new layer. All right? And then I got a color that is very bright. So let's do light blue this time. Okay, I got the light blue there. I get a huge brush. And you just start painting the background in. Okay, I forgot to multiply it, so it's going to go over things. Okay, so I'll multiply it after. You can always multiply after. I'm going to do this quick for the sake of the tutorial. So I'm going to multiply. So I can see where I went wrong. There you go. A little smaller brush. Okay, and you fill in this spot. But then what you're going to do after to get this cool effect for the background is you're going to dissolve it a bit. You're going to take your eraser tool. You're going to pick a more faded one. And then I'd even go larger, 300. And then you're going to erase that layer a bit. And that's how you get that effect that I had on my final project. Okay? So, you're going to, today, start off stamping your character. Add the skin color. Then paint it in, all the black and white areas. Then get your skin color. And then you can add tongues and ties and all that stuff. And then your background. And then after, pick a word that you'd like to criticize your character with. All right, so that's how you cartoon a celebrity or anybody that has a photo.